I have waited 7 years for this. And I'm gonna 100% this game if it's the last thing I do. No rules for this, like in my challenge videos. Oh no. That comes after I do this and get all achievements. So, without further ado, I say we begin our ascent through Farloom. Shall we? We start the game with Hornet being transported to Farloom when she's saved by a butterfly. Well, saved is a big word, cause we fall down to the bottom of Farloom and almost die by being impaled with our own weapon. I still can't believe this game is real. Anyways, the game starts off really good. Like all good games start with killing a mother. You'd have to be real stupid to die to Moss Mother. Nice parallel with ascending up the well instead of descending in it, Team Cherry. Hornet soon passes out, probably because she saw how much people liked her. Thankfully, she's woken up by the chapel maiden in a really gentle way. She's poking. I met the residents of Bone Bottom, including Chakra, not far away from the town, who is basically the Cornifer of this game. If Cornifer grew 1 more meter and lost like 30 kilograms, that is. If Team Cherry kills this little guy too, I'll find them. Immediately after that, I had to pay some rosaries, this game's currency, for a bench. And this will be the last time we have to engage with capitalism. Yep, never again. It won't be a pattern I'll have to deal with throughout the whole game. Nope. I met the flea caravan and got the quest to find all fleas, which, compared to their IRL counterparts, are absolutely adorable. I also realized something that should have been pretty obvious. The enemies were controlled by Silk. Soon after that, I got my first tool, and with that, the first achievement, equipped. Not too much later, I also got the first skill, the needle throw, which gave me the bound achievement. With this skill, I can finally free my boy the Bell Beast. Fun fact, you pet the Bell Beast by hitting him, so the guy is not fighting us. He's literally excited and we are just playing with him. God, I love him. After calming the Bell Beast, I got the first Silk Heart, which made me regenerate an additional Silk Notch. Wow. We also get the Liberated achievement for freeing him. I did some exploring after this in the Deep Docks, and weirdly enough, my next achievement was the Restored achievement, for getting my first spool extension. As I kept exploring, I eventually got into the ant area, where I found my first movement ability, the Swift Step, which, amazingly, works as both a run and a dash. Pretty creative if you ask me. And with this, I was finally able to get to what I was waiting for 7 years, the lace fight. And what can I say? It's awesome. Her moveset is simple and fun, but all of it is sold by her amazing team.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Ooh, big talk for someone who died on the second try. What? Gonna cry? Sadly, the lace fight was over pretty quickly, which granted me the Farloom's Welcome achievement. Also, Hornet calls Lace a child, so problematic age gap? Slay or nay? I explored a bit after this. I started by getting the Warding Bell, a tool I called underwhelming the first time I used it, but ended up using it throughout my whole playthrough, because I'm bad, and I want the shield. I also did my first wish, which are pretty much this game's quest. I killed some pilgrims and stole their clothes. At least I got some money and the granted achievement for this. Anyways, I went to the far fields after I was done exploring. I passed the giant robot. I guess this isn't a boss fight after all? Past it, I met the seamstress. She asked me to gather her spines so she can upgrade my cloak. I was pretty confused for a while, but I realized I had to get the things they shoot, not kill them like I was doing. Anyways, she made me the Drifter's cloak, and I finally understood all R34 artists. Damn, look at that body, sheesh! Well, that was I fucking knew it. I knew it couldn't be this easy. The fight with 4 chorus wasn't that hard, but how you finish them is really nice though. After you're done with its phases, 2 updrafts will appear, and you have to use them to break off this rock above them to finish them off. Details like this is why this game took 7 years to come out, and it's 100% worth it. And beating this boss gave me the servant achievement. You know what doesn't take 7 years to do? Subscribe and follow me on Twitch. Even Hornet agrees.
Garama!
See?
Shaw!
I told you.
Edina!
Whoa, Hornet, you can't say that anymore. Okay, let's just move on. With the cloak upgraded, I could go to Greymore. In here, I met a nice bartender and a weirdo living in his attic. That weirdo saying something about smells and tastes and giving me the hunter's journal. You know what? To each their own. I found the first tough boss here, the Morwing. Yes, Morwing, not Moorwing, because you say Greymore, not Greymoor. I'd like to say that I got good and beat it soon after I find it, but no, I went exploring instead. I fought some burbs, and after hitting a lever, I was met by the first ever hard parkour area. I was tweaking by the end of it. Oh my god, finally! Imagine I fall here. Whew. But at least I got Hornet's signature move, and it couldn't get any worse than this, right? Right? Okay, guess I'll have to do this. The fight is not that bad after you learn the second phase, but it still was the first ever hurdle I faced in this game. With the Morwing dead, I was able to progress and get to Belhard. Oh, what the fuck? Are these bugs? Can I show this on Twitch? Well, that was a creepy intro. You guys just hang in there. I'll be back. I passed through the town and got to the area on the other side of it, Shellwood. In here, I found an alien looking guy that asked me to get him 6 polyps. Weird. I sure hope this doesn't have any unforeseen consequences. I had to fight a fairly easy leaf boss. Well, it would be easy, if not for the summoned little critters. God, I hate summoners. Easy! Whoo! I'm the fucking best. I switched to this and did it second try. Thankfully, after this, things were smooth sailing. And after all this, it was worth it, because I got the wall climb to reward my pain. And with this, I got to the tunnels above Belhard. And at the bottom of the tunnels, there she was, Widow. I could say confidently, this is the first boss that I considered to be from Silksong. Everything else could be fought in Hollow Knight. Okay, maybe not him. But Widow, no. From music, moveset, and thematic, this boss screams Silksong. Even lore-wise, she's also a weaver who's been corrupted. She also has a second phase fake-out death that took me by surprise the first time around. Oh, second try! Oh, bait and switch! A fantastic boss, through and through. For beating her, we get the Fanatic achievement and the Needle In, which is kinda like the Dream Nail. Best thing it can do right now? It can open the Weaver doors. We also free Belhard by killing her. I made a lot of progress, so I went exploring a bit, and I found my first crest, the Reaper crest, which granted me the claimed achievement, and I will definitely 100% explore with the crest, and not only use this one because it's the embodiment of me, Jack of all trades, master of none. I went back to Belhard to meet the residents, with the most important one being Pinmaster Pliny, which gave me a free needle upgrade. What a guy. I sure hope I won't have to, I don't know, do a wish like the flower quest from Hollow Knight for an upgrade. To add to my collection, I immediately found the Wanderer's Crest, which is literally just the attack from Hollow Knight. Yeah. I got the simple key and opened the deep docks door. Sadly, this is pretty much a late game area, so I found nothing in here. So, I decided to go to the Hunter's Marsh, the ants area, and explore it a bit. On the way, I met a little guy, and I played his game, and sucked ass at it. I also found a mask shard, which granted me my first extra mask, and the protected achievement. In the ant area, I found Satan, and after I died to it, I decided to go to a bench that was closer to the fight. Instead, I found a fly with a cage on the way, which made me think that it might be Bloodborne. What the hell? No way. It was Bloodborne. Damn, Hornet is a stick. R34 artists in shambles. While I go around in the cold, did you know that Hornet has canonically mated? No, really, if you read an entrance in the Hunter's journal, he mentions she's had mates, but she outlived all of them. Damn, if only she was like Edward from Twilight, she could have married an 18-year-old while being 109. This is canon, by the way. Anyways, I dropped in, snapped this dude's neck, and got my shit back. Another fun fact, this room plays a remix of Hornet's theme. She isn't locked in here with them. They are locked in here with her. Thankfully, I managed to leave after I spoke to a weird-ass thief bug. Back to the ant boss. I hate summoners, I hate summoners, I hate summoners, I hate summoners, I hate summoners. Ooh. All this for yet another crest that I will not use. Oh, you lovely. I hate this game. Back in Greymore, I found a locked house with a fly inside. And weirdly enough, I found a bomb right above her house. What she was planning, we'll never know. After exploring a little more, I stumbled into Sinner's Road. My notes here read, I hate it here. Place is fucked. I hate the roaches. Get me out. Even the bench is against me. Honestly, I don't think I have to add anything here. This is the hardest early game area in the game. I got to a mini boss, literally just 2 roaches, and got a slave from it. Like this is the dynamic a lot of people. Let's leave it at that. I couldn't really do anything else here, so I decided to go away. I tried to go to the wormways, but I couldn't progress because I used the simple key in the deep docks. Well, I was kinda stuck. I went to Greymore to try and find a way through there. I managed to increase my spool, but nothing. I remember the Weaver doors. I went to the one in the far fields. Nothing important really, just a tool that makes Hornet faster. I then went to the one in Moss Grotto, where a strange creature named Eva evolves my base crest. Awesome lesbian couple, evil and intimidating Hornet. Well, Hornet is homophobic, confirmed. I finished the wish that I got from the druid and got a pretty meh tool out of it. I managed to get to Wormways through a different location. Met a nerd in here that made me go collect Plasmium. Let's be honest, it's just lifeblood. For a tool that may be able to inject it in myself. Yummy lifeblood. I do sure hope overconsumption of this doesn't have unforeseen negative effects. I continue to go all around Farloom, doing random shit, doing quests, fighting small bosses, and getting more and more angry that I was lost, only to realize that it was under my dumb fucking nose this whole time. Literally, it was just this room. I hate myself. Now with the door opened, I got to see where the intro happened, and got to see the edge of the kingdom, the blasted steps. It's an area full of sand pits that deal 2 damage to me. You know, I actually have no problem with the 2 damage thing in this game. In bosses, not in parkour. I fought the 2 drill boys in here. The fight was easy, but I only got one of them. Past them, we met the Pinstress, who is from the same order as the Seamstress, but didn't give up on her ways yet. She teaches us our one and only needle art, mainly because each crest has a unique needle art. I love the attention to detail in this game. And after a short parkour area, there we were, at the entrance to the citadel. I only needed to play one more song to get in. Is it gonna open? Oh, it's the last judge. But of course, things couldn't be that easy. The last judge is the final hurdle of Act 1, and they really feel like it. If Widow was the first boss that made me say, okay, now this is the first Silksong boss, then they are the test. They are quick, and you need to keep close to them so you can hit them. This is also where bosses start a pretty interesting trend, where they don't really have a third phase, but instead just speed up the second phase and add one attack to it. With the last judge exploded, we got the judge achievement, and we entered the citadel. And when I thought we would finally reach the citadel, we immediately go down with the elevator. Okay, dude, what the fuck is this? Was this game made by South Koreans? Anyways, the Underworks is not that big of an area, so we quickly get to the coral chambers. This place was hauntingly empty, but then we meet Lace, and she confirmed one of the things that I already had in mind. The haunting is the work of a higher being, and with her departure, the hauntingly empty place suddenly became hauntingly full, and a lot more dangerous. I also found the method of transportation the bugs of the Citadel used to use. Elevators. Damn. And the Pale King thought he was hot shit. And to keep the really good boss streak going, I got to the two gay robot bugs. Or the clockwork dancers, if you're boring. As I said, this fight is really good as well. They have multiple phases, but their moves don't change, just the pace at which they attack. The two of them slash around the area completely synchronized in the first two phases, and with a bit of a delay between each other in the third phase. They also show public displays of affection. Disgusting. Not because they are gay, I just hate seeing happy people. Once I got one of them down, I was ready for the other one to go on a rampage, ready to feel the rage of one avenging their dead lover, ready for a black silence type of situation. Oh, it's not even... What have I done? Okay, thank you Team Cherry. Now I feel like shit. I can't even savor the achievement I got for beating them. Now I just feel like an ass. With this done, we got the big elevator. But of course I wasn't able to use it right then and there. What do you think this is? Convenient? I had to find 3 pieces of a melody first. So, exploring we go. I first went under the arena inside the clockwork core. Here, I got another spool upgrade. I met a cook who asked me to bring him delicacies from around Farloom in exchange for the pale oil. I also finally found the map. I didn't mention it, but I was having a really hard time finding the map. I thought it was like in the slab, where you had to physically find the map. Nope, you just have to pay at the Citadel model. Dumbass. I met the bug from the slab again, and he tried to touch me. Damn, absolute win. I went to the Underworks again. Here, I got another spool upgrade. I soon realized that I had the white key, and I used it to get into the white world. A creepy ass place that made a tear respawn in my head. What if the Weavers were actually the bad guys of the game? No, really, we have hints that the Weavers either tried to contain or create a higher being. My theory is that it's both. They somehow managed to create or awaken the being responsible for the haunting, and then they tried to contain them. And this place that looks like Weavers did experiments on bugs does not help their case. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory! That aside, I eventually get to the cauldron, which is just another side of the Underworks. And after parkouring through here, I got the grappling ability, which opened the map a lot for me. The first thing I did was go back to Mount Faye and climb it, and climb it, and climb, and... Okay, yeah, this area is pretty hard. The parkouring is pretty precise, but overall, I didn't hate it. It probably won't get worse than this though. At the mountain's peak, an oversized pigeon gave me the double jump ability. I kinda wanna stay with the pigeon more. I kinda love this guy. I fuck with him heavy. I also met Mask Maker in here. And this was also the last time I saw Mask Maker in this playthrough. I explored the high halls a bit. I got the cog flying here. Probably one of the best red tools in the game. After I left, I tried to go find the coral zone. Sadly, I didn't find it. So I tried to go and gamble my worries away. The little guy was sadly dead. Rest in peace. You're gambling in heaven now. The saving grace though, I got his dice, which are, in my humble opinion, one of the best yellow tool in the game. It has a chance to block the damage you take, and for someone like me, who's bad at video games, it's a really nice addition. I ain't taking those off. To explore a bit more, I went back to the deep docks. Here, I got a spool upgrade after an evil fucking room full of falling boulders. At least it won't get worse than this. I even got to the double boss at the end of this area, but I was really weak, so I decided against doing it now. Back in the wormways, I remember the Weaver door, so I decided to go there. I basically got Sharp Shadow from Hollow Knight, but as an ability. On my way back, I also beat that annoying ass enemy that spits poison. The reward was very underwhelming, just some shards. I eventually got back to the high halls, and I even found the Gauntlet Arena. But it was obvious that I was too weak, so I decided to explore a bit more. I didn't really do much before getting back on track. I just got the Keen Hunter achievement from the bug in the attic, and a pouch upgrade as a reward. Now why didn't I do much? Because I realized I was a dumbass, and I could have gone to the other two areas the moment I got the grapple upgrade. This is the dumbest I think I've ever been in a game, like, ever. I hate myself. I first went to the Whispering Vaults. I found a Psalm cylinder here and gave it to this centipede guy. We learned a bit about his kind. The fact that they can learn things from a melody. I also, thankfully, found some pale oil in here. So, I went back to Pliny to get an upgrade. With this, I started clearing the 3 tasks I had. I first did the clockwork one. I had a bit of trouble with it, but that's because I was severely sleep deprived while doing it. I actually got it done on the first try the next day, after I replenished my energy. The puzzle at the top was really easy. Literally just had to align the first and second spinny thingies, and then aligning the rest would be easy. With that, we get the first part of the melody. On my way to the high halls, I also realized that the conductor looked like the average Maha... God, I can't say that word for shit. The conductor looked like the average Korean manga male protagonist / love interest. And here, the suffering begins. The gauntlet was the worst thing in the game for me. With the previous stream, and the stream I beat it in, it took me a total of 3 hours to beat it. And it was all because of the final fight. Why, Team Cherry? Why? Why 2 of them? I was genuinely tweaking after I beat this room. Oh my god, thank you! No, no, no more! No more, please! Oh. Fuck you all! For my pain and suffering, I got rewarded with another piece of the melody from the conductor. Why is the conductor jerking it? Now, between me and the last piece, there stood only one thing: a flamboyant butterfly. This is peak male performance, by the way. What men think women want versus what they actually want. He's such a drama queen though. He has his own intro, and even his moves are so theatrical. I love everything about him, besides his tornado attack. That move can go to hell. He's one of those that only gets faster and gets an extra move, so he's not that hard. But I am. This boy isn't even dead, he just lives. Imagine dying to him on Steel Soul. It would be so funny. We get the tragedy and achievement by beating him. The true tragedy would be him actually dying. I swear I'm straight. Anyways, I grave robbed the dead keeper and got the psalm that had the melody on it. So I went to the vault keeper we met before, played it, and got the last part of the melody. And with it, the harmonious achievement. I played the full song at the elevator entrance, and it opened for me. I stepped in, and I was ready to ascend and confront the pale monarch, but someone stood in my way. Hang on. Now, this was the lace fight I was hyped for. I knew it was coming, but I still couldn't wait to get to her. She's fighting at a way higher pace than in Deep Dogs. One of the things that I really had to get into my system was jumping after her parries. Trust me, if you jump when she parries, and it is a matter of when, not if, you'll be able to dodge both of the follow-ups. It still took me a lot of tries to beat her, but when I did, man, it was awesome. With her downed, we learned her true nature, a being made completely out of silk, a flimsy and fleeting life, but as Hornet puts it, a life nonetheless. With this, we get the White Knight achievement, and our second silk heart. We also get a memory of the Weaver's talking, though I can't really make out if it's about Lace or Hornet. I pressed on and got to the final area, the Cradle. This area has a total of 2 important rooms, the boss arena and this weird room on the left. It is pretty clear that this is where Hornet would have ended up if she didn't escape, and this place was here to imprison weavers and weaver hybrids. As to why? Probably so that the monarch can feed off their silk, or have them close enough to be able to control them. Speaking of the monarch, why don't we go and meet her? We did the final climb, and I had only one prompt. Oh, so this time we don't fight the sun, we fight a giant ball of silk, huh? Grandmother Silk, that is the name of the higher being that caused the hunting, and I was ready to take her down, which was surprisingly easy. I was still warmed up and locked in from the lace fight, and what helped a lot is the fact that she's a lot like the Radiance, like a lot. She also only has like 3 moves, so I was fine. And after the most obvious fake out defeat, oh you weavers and your fake outs, Hornet manages to bind her. Bind! You creature! Whoa! She's becoming... oh, she's transforming into a full weaver? We see the Citadel, engulfed in silk, consumed by it, and Hornet in the same cocoon as everyone else. Until... and with this, we get the first ending, and the Weaver Queen achievement. We literally just replaced an oppressive regime with another one. Damn. History moment. Also, why does Grandmother Silk look like she could pretty easily fit into any JRPG slop game? Well, with this done, I started making progress towards Act 3. Now it's pretty unclear, or at least it was when I was playing the game, how to get to Act 3. But here I am to clarify it. You literally just have to do all the wishes in the game, until this wish appears. Oh, and you also have to get all the fleas to Fleetopia, but we'll do that later, so stick around. But before that, I started doing a little bit of exploration. Why? Why this again? I hate summoners, I hate summoners, I hate summoners. Whoo, finally. Huh. Apparently this was for a wish. Thankfully, this is the last time you'll fight this guy. He's not even hard if I'm gonna be honest. It's the fact that he summons enemies that's annoying. He's a pushover otherwise. In here, I also did an extremely convoluted and hard room, only for a mask shard. I love this game. I decided to try and find the coral zone through the blasted steps again. And this time, I actually did find it. In here, I also found the first ingredient for the food wish, the crust nut. As I progressed through the zone, I eventually found the drill guy that left. His moveset was pretty much the same, with the addition of child labor. My guy's partner got killed by a random bug, and their reaction was to wait for me and be like, "Children, get them!" Truly a model parent. I didn't find much else in this area, just this statue at the end of it. Since this guy is from the trailer, I'm guessing we'll get some sort of dream nail ability later, so I'll go for now. My next stop was the Memorial, an area that is pretty much a zoo/animal collection. This is also the place where I got the last Cogwart heart piece, an item that I didn't mention until now, and that we'll use much later. I also found a flea that the average redditor would call a chonker, while the poor thing was dying of heart disease from obesity. But the truth is that this flea was more like a hippo, pure muscle. With this place cleared, I went to Deep Dogs to fight those two guys I avoided before. Turns out that they aren't that hard. As long as you try to get rid of the guy throwing spears while avoiding the other guy, you'll be fine. It's just that they are tanky as fuck, and one mistake could cost you a lot. Ooh, okay, third enemy. Come on, I'm ready. Who's next? With Dumb and Dumber dead, I was able to go inside the area they were protecting, and it was not worth it. This bell right here doesn't open until Act 3, so yeah. Well, at least I won't have to do it later. So, I started doing wishes to quickly get to Act 3, and here is where I'll have to note this. Do not do this. Don't be like me and be too eager to get to Act 3 while you still have mask fragments, spool fragments, and tools to collect. Yes, there are some that are exclusive to Act 3, but most can be collected in Act 2. Do that before Act 3. Trust me, you'll have a much better time than I did. Now, back to our usual program of me being stupid. I started by visiting the fleas, and traveling with them from Greymore to the entrance of the Citadel. For this, I got a spool upgrade as a reward. I then quickly finished all the remaining wishes in Bone Bottom, and I got a cute statue from it. If you break this, I hope you get run over. I decided to start the food wish, so off to Sinner's Road we go. I fought the... Yeah, damn, what that thing do? I see why they call him Ass Jim. I fought the chef in Sinner's Road for some pickled Mac Maggot. I also set free the bug that was in this cage, and quickly realized that he was the bug after which the dancers were modeled. Back to the food wish. I got some soup from the druid, and I farmed rosaries for the nectar and to donate to Bellheart. I paid the owner and went to get the nectar. The guy kinda had an ant problem that he forgot to mention though. Yeah, this guy 100% tried to set me up, didn't he? I donated some rosaries to Bellheart and got a bell home, granting me the resident achievement. Me. I did this in Bellheart, 1, for the achievement and for progress towards Act 3, and 2, because this is the place where the flower quest starts from. It's actually the meat quest this time. You see, the last ingredient for the food wish was this meat that looked like something cooked by a 60s housewife with a lot of gelatin. To make your life easier, go and clear the road, and then come back. Not through a bellway, and do not sit down. You clear the road just to get rid of the enemies. That does not mean that you are safe. There are a lot of pits you can fall into and walls you can hit on the way. No! If you hit a wall, also, it does say that you can theoretically take hits, but anything after one hit is already too much and you might as well restart it. After suffering through the quest, I finally granted this guy's wish, which granted me the Glutton achievement and 1 pale oil. He's 100% gonna get eaten, isn't he? I upgraded the needle and I started doing the shrine wishes. I found Jubilana in the coral chambers. She was just casually widening the political divide between people by making videos like 1 normal guy versus 20 serial murderers. Then I saved Sherma in the White World and found Jubilana again. This time the video was 1 random dude versus 20 Nazis. With this quest done, I went back to the slab and found and killed the mother of the flies. Also, the Hunter Journal confirmed that Hornet is racist towards the flies, which, I'll be honest, kinda rubbed off on me while I was streaming. I must apologize to any flies watching. You're cool. The next area I found was the Putrefied Duct, a horrible area full of annoying ass enemies and things that grab Hornet. The only thing that I did here was meet the Huntress, who gave me a wish to collect food for her brood. Also, side note, can you imagine that a few years ago we thought that she'd give us the journal? It turns out we would get it from a woman living in an attic. To continue my exploration, I got to the Mist, which is an area that I absolutely hate. It has a mechanic that is not intuitive at all. The rooms are randomized, and you have to find the butterflies and play the needle in for them to show you the way. And this is not shown to you at all, because who would think, I saw some butterflies when I entered this area. I will play the needle in for them. Oh, that's so obvious. To add insult to injury, the closer you get to the end of this area, the more ghosts start to appear. At the end of this area, we find some sort of chapel with an organ inside. Inside, playing the organ, we find Phantom, Lace's sister, which you can really tell. She is pretty tough for a boss fight that could be beaten in the early game. But that's because there's a shortcut to the Citadel past her, if you didn't know that. For me though, she was pretty easy, but fun nonetheless. Whoa! Wait, what do you mean parry? Or are we gonna be able to parry from now on? Beating her gives us the Grey Ghost achievement and a silk ability, the parry. After all, we did learn that Lace was made out of silk, so she's probably made or partially made out of it too. But I didn't go into the next area yet. Instead, I explored a bit more and I got the Flea Finder achievement for finding 15 fleas. I also haven't seen Eva in a long while, so I went to visit her. Doing this granted me the Vesti crest, which is basically just an additional tool slot. Pretty good though. I found a new area after this. Bilewater. Okay, I have to talk about this. Why are there so many areas behind secret walls? Seriously, the last few areas were behind secret walls. I haven't played Hollow Knight in a pretty good while, but I feel like this wasn't the case in Hollow Knight. Am I just being Mandela affected? Am I just misremembering things? Anyways, after opening the bellway in here, I got the connected achievement for opening all bellways. In here, I got another mask and then left immediately. Don't judge me. I know you didn't like exploring Bilewater either. Also, Team Cherry are fucking evil for making a fake bench for this area specifically. I'm gonna go to Australia, take William, Ari, and the other fucking guy, and put them in a wall that's slightly cracked, and then wait until someone decides to break that wall to free them. After I left, I quickly did the Polyp Wish, which granted me this tool that applies poison to my red tools, which should be done way earlier, since this is used in fast boss kills. Then, I went back to the Putrefied Ducts to find this flea. This is Vogue, a big flea that is actually only muscle. He also sells maps with the flea locations for every area. And so, my search for the fleas begins. While doing this, I found a new secret area, this time behind a hidden passage instead of a secret wall. Wow, this area was the Wisp ticket. It's full of firebenders, so I know this place was trouble. At the end of this area stood Father of the Flame, a totem with the soul of a bug inside of it. This guy is pretty much a gimmick boss fight, but for some reason, I don't know, I find him actually quite fun. I usually hate gimmick bosses, but I don't hate him. You just have to destroy the fire cages on his arms and then the center. For defeating him, you get a tool that could theoretically help you beat the game without doing needle damage. Ah yes, a hidden area in a hidden area to find a flea. I love it. I also found a pervert flea in Greymore. While looking for a flea in Songclave, yet another hidden area, I found a weird crying tentacle thingy in Bilewater. Hopefully, this thing isn't dangerous or anything. Then I got the last flea from Bilewater and the secret bench that's closer to the gauntlet that's in here. I told you, dude. Evil. Before the boss fight, I found Chakra's master here. We sang her a song, and with this, I got Chakra's rings and the Trail's End achievement. Now, it's time for the boss. Okay, so the run back isn't as bad if you get this bench, but it's still pretty bad. Also, make sure to get this tool to make you immune to the water for a while. Thankfully, I managed to beat the gauntlet and the war boss in my third try, which gave me the Seeker's Soul, which I didn't know yet, but it is a really important item. With all the fleas gathered, we went back to the caravan, and we traveled once again with them. Oh my god, dude, she's surrounded. I absolutely love this situation. Our last stop was the edge of the putrefied ducts, where they built Fleetopia, and all this granted me the Flea Friend achievement. After everything I did, it was time. I started Soul and Silk. For this wish, I needed 4 things. 3 souls, and something to capture Mother Silk. And look at that, we already got the Seeker's Soul. But that also means that Bilewater is a mandatory area. Ugh. We get the Maiden's Soul from the Chapel Maiden in Bone Bottom, the Snare Setter in Weaveness Atla in a secret room, and the Hermit's Soul under Bellheart from the guy that called me a slave. With this done, the device was constructed, and it was time to get rid of Grandmother Silk once and for all. At the end of the fight, I bound her, but then something really bad happened. The Void appeared. We were gonna trap her in the Void? Are these guys stupid? You should not mess around with this stuff. Anyways, Hornet was ready to go down with her, but Lace decided to step in and save her. We fall down, and the credits roll. And with this, we get the second ending, and the Snared Silk achievement. Yeah, so instead of the game ending here, it continues, and we get into our third and final act. Act 3. Abyss? So, what happened? Well, if Lace hadn't jumped in, this would have been it. But because she did, she got dragged into the void with Mother Silk. And because Mother Silk actually kinda cares about Lace, she's refusing to die. Good job, you sassy child. Let's go and save her. You can tell this place is in a bad shape, just from one look. Well, at least our boy Sherma is basically the new leader of the first shrine. Short King W, if you ask me. I had to go and talk to the 3 fuckers that messed all of this up. The thing is, when I tried to use the Bellway, this happened. What the fuck is that? The Bell Eater was here, and that name really scared me. I knew I had to save my boy. The fight is, a fight? It's okay, but it was elevated to absolute cinema when my boy did this. Okay? Third phase. Yo! Yo, my boy! Look at him! Holy shit! He's cooking him! I also found out that my boy was actually my girl and she had kids. Gee, tell me next time, okay? This granted me the bounded achievement and the ability to fast travel to the last Bellway I used. I got to Bone Bottom after this, and the place was completely wrecked. Even the statue of the little repairing guy. Fly high, sweet prince. I talked to the cowards, and I realized they were snail shamans. Okay, it makes sense now, but still. They told me to descend into the abyss, and that's what I did. I descended using the bell that we found at the end of Act 2. Well, more like fell, not really descended. And yeah, this is literally just the abyss. This time with a lot less vessel corpses in the hallways though. After a short while, I got the last ability from a weaver statue. In the abyss. Okay, this doesn't confirm that the weavers are the bad guys or anything, but it does confirm that they are stupid beyond belief. Do not meddle with the void. I couldn't do anything else in here, so it was time to get out. The lava was rising. It was getting closer and closer to me. Go! Save whatever is left of this kingdom. Well, we clearly need to do something else. And something else we did. I went back to the snail shamans and they gave me what's basically the awoken dream nail of this game. The goal? Use it to kill 3 bosses and get their hearts, so we can use them to go into Hornet's memories and get the Everbloom, the white flower that can repel the void, so she can dive to save Lace and put an end to this. It's time to hunt. First, the obvious one, the statue in the coral zone. I played the needle in and ended up in the actual coral zone. This entire area comprises several rooms that all have gauntlets in them, each room getting harder and harder. And prepare to get good and learn their patterns, because you only get a shortcut for the boss fight. Speaking of the boss fight, woo! Finally! One of the really cool bosses from the trailers, Khan. In the span of one fight, I went from thinking he was meh to thinking he is one of the best bosses in the game. He's one of those that doesn't really change attacks too much, but the faster he gets, the more precise you have to be. You know, maybe it's good that Pyrocynical quit after the last judge. He would have probably combusted here. After busting at the fat frog, he was so good, and this fight was such fun. I did beat him on my first try, but I love this guy. With his defeat, we get his heart and the Tyrant achievement. On my way to the other 2 hearts, I got a spool upgrade. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. To get rid of the crying baby, I went to the alien guy. I gave it to him and he... Oh, what the Can I show this on YouTube? This got me infected with a parasite that made me unable to heal or change crests. So I had to fix this, and fast. Also, this is one example as to why you should do things in Act 2 and not Act 3. So, if you get tentacled and you want to get untentacled, you just have to get to the fly in Greymore, the 2 guys in Sinner's Road, RIP, and back to Greymore so she can extract it. Or more like bind it to you or something? I don't know. I was already fed up with this because I did this in Act 3. This granted me the Witch Crest, but you already know it. On my way to the next boss, I got the tool pouch upgrade from the game room. Then, I raced against the Sprint Master bug for a mask shard. The world is ending, and I'm competing in a race. True priorities here. After the race was over, I finally found the real Carmelita. She's, yeah, she's seen better days, but I don't care. Still would. Her fight consists of, yet again, a small gauntlet, then herself. Is it wrong to find an ant hot? Anyways, she was the hardest of the 3 bosses for me. Mainly because, just like Lace, she parries a lot. And just like with Lace again, you need to learn that jumping over her is your best bet if you want to win. All of this combined with every other move she had made her really hard to hit. But I eventually got her. Rest in peace, Carmelita. Until your death, you truly were a diva. Hunter's heart, it beats steady and strong. I was now prepared for the last one, but before that, I had a guardian to fight. Seth. This guy has a really sad backstory. Not his in-game one, but his IRL one. Seth was a kid who wished to meet Team Cherry, and after he met them, they told him to make a character. And that character was Seth. Sadly he died, but a part of him will forever remain in Silksong as a really amazing boss. But what about the fight? It's really good. And once again, the air is your friend, just like the previous few fights. Overall, an amazing fight. And the fact that they made use of the shield from the drawing, oh my god, I love this. The last hard boss was really weird and pretty bad, to be honest. It was Neelet, the flower that created life in Shellwood. There, have some useless lore. Yeah, she's really boring, especially after fighting Seth, even without the backstory. She has a total of 4 attacks, that's it. And her second phase is just the same, but without the ground. Yeah, let's move on from her. With the hearts in my possession, it was time to go inside Hornet's memories. Damn, if Pyrocynical ever finishes this game, he'll probably love this part. We see snippets of Hornet's past, how she was not accepted by the Weavers because she was only a half-breed, how after Hera went into her eternal slumber, she was trained by Queen Vespa in the Hive, and how the White Lady was tough on her, something that present Hornet respects and understands. And with this, we are granted the flower and the remembrance achievement. Also, the shamans were dead, and I got their crest. Serves them right for not telling me we were gonna use the Void. Now I could have gone to the Void and finished the game, but I wasn't even close to 100%, so off we go! The first thing I did was go to Fleetopia, because you know, the world might be ending, but you always have time for games. This feels a little bit too topical right now. The games are Flea Dodge, Flea Bounce, and the spawn of Satan itself, Flea Juggle. While Flea Dodge was pretty RNG based, which made it pretty annoying, and Flea Bounce was easy as pie because I love bouncing, Flea Juggle is horrible for me, because I'm bad at juggling. I spend more time on this than the other two combined, and I only managed to beat it because I found out that you need to stay stuck to the ground. You see, I'm pretty sure the fleas have the same airtime no matter how high you throw them, which makes juggling them closer to the ground better as it is easier to react. And even then, I managed to beat it by the skin of my teeth. All of this for a pale oil and a needle upgrade. 100% worth it though. Back to exploring. I started by buying a mask shard from the shop and getting an additional mask. I upgraded a nail and fought Purple Trobio. The difference between him and normal Trobio is that he was evil and fucked up. And his tornado attack somehow got even worse. It's the actual opposite of the last few bosses. You go under it or away from it to dodge it. If you don't, you will just get hit. Also, his bombs are diagonal now, but that's not that bad after you get used to them. I still love this guy. Next, I answered the call of a fallen warrior, and I went to the blasted steps. There, I was guided by Grimmel's bug to Lost Grimmel, He is not that much different from the normal void enemies, he was just tankier, so he wasn't that hard. Godspeed, little guy. We get a Hero's Call achievement for beating him. Okay, there is a lot of fighting bugs we met along the way. Why does everyone have a death wish in this game? Next up, it was the Pinstress. I didn't find her in her house, but I did find a note telling me to go to Mount Fae, where the hardest thing about the fight with her was the run to it. We ended up sparing her. From this, we get a tool, the Fatal Resolve achievement, and we become an honorary member of the Pinstresses. Then I did the flesh collecting for the Huntress. Well, shit happens. You know, this isn't surprising, like at all for me. Also, do not Google insect breeding habits, because you'll see why I don't find this surprising at all. I gave them the food and proceeded to leave. Back in the slab, I found First Sinner, which is basically just a faster and better version of the Widow fight. It even has a second phase fake out death. What is it with weavers and fake out deaths? Also, this is how you do healing bosses, Elden Ring. You give the player an option to stop their healing, because fighting bosses that heal is just not fun. Anyways, salty rant aside, beating her gives us the Heretic achievement and a bit of lore. Apparently, this guy was the first weaver, non-conscious weaver, to gain consciousness. Yeah, I have no idea what's happening. The next achievement I got was the Transported achievement, for opening all of the elevators. Since I was in the Coral Chambers, I decided to start the Green Prince questline, which opens the way to Verdania, and the last map of the game, which granted me the Cartographer achievement. To actually explore Verdania properly, I need to go into his memories, and does this guy have Alzheimer's or something? For every other memory boss, it was literally just go in, fight the gauntlet, if there was one, and beat the boss. Why does this guy have his memories so spread out? After collecting everything, I was rewarded with a boss. The honor to fight the Green Prince and his long dead lover. The clash of... I'm sorry. I just kinda find this fight underwhelming. It's the same fight as the Cogward Dancers, but worse. Even their romantic embrace is unseeable, since if you try and look at them, you won't be able to dodge Hurricane Katrina. It's over my ass. Oh, it's... Is it? Oh, thank fucking god. Oh my god. For some reason, this boss is really unfun compared... at least the ending was bittersweet. That's what you get for being in love with someone who's literally born the same moment as you. I went back to Eve after this, and I expanded the Vesti crest. Before I started tool hunting, I also found what this item I got throughout the game is for. If you complete 3 puzzles, get all the pieces, and activate this sentinel, who you can find fighting enemies throughout the Coral Chambers. So you can literally make the game easier for yourself if you do this early. See why I told you to do all of this in Act 2? Anyways, he challenges us, and as usual, we beat him. We get the reserve bind from this, which is basically a free emergency silk reserve. He also keeps helping you around the place even after you defeat him. See why I told you to do this in Act 2? Since I was only missing one silk skill, I went back to the Grandmother Silk Arena and got the Pale Nails, which granted me the Woven achievement. This one is a fairly decent skill, especially good if you're like me and you're bad at aiming. Oh, but the problem wasn't this. The problem was that I found this. I have nothing but my sorrow, and I want nothing more. It has been, it still is, faithful to me. Why should I begrudge it, since during the hours when my soul crushed the depths of my heart, it was seated there beside me. Oh sorrow, I have ended, you see, by respecting you, because I am certain you will never leave me. Ah, I realize it. Your beauty lies in the force of your being. You are like those who never left the sad fireside corner of my poor black heart. Oh, my sorrow, you are better than well beloved, because I know that on the day of my final agony, you will be there, lying in my sheets. Oh, sorrow, so that you might once again attempt to enter my heart. Please, if there's anything more, I'm fucking shaking. Please be something useful. Please. Oh my, I thought this was a bait. I thought this was bait from Team Cherry. This place is a crime against humanity. All of that for some journal entries, a memento of the surface, and a Mr. Mushroom encounter. Well, what can I say? This is this, and that is that. God, I'm so fucking cringe, kill me. Okay, back to 100%ing the game. I did some farming, so I started buying things. First, I bought everything from the architect and used the key to get the architect's crest, which granted me the claimed achievement. Also, this is apparently the best crest in the game, and you can kill bosses in seconds with it. So, yeah, use it if you use red tools. Next, I bought everything from Grindel, getting a spool upgrade in the process. And after a shopping spree that could rival a 13-year-old in Sephora, I realized I missed one metal. 51 tools, and I was missing one metal. Ugh. It was in the Wisp ticket, by the way. Funny thing, I was here already, I just didn't go to the right. This is the guy you watched for the past hour or so. Well, with this, we got the Arsenal achievement. Only a few things left, so let's rapid fire through them. I went to the White Word, got the Sturgeon key, found a boss made out of silk, and got the last silk heart. I could get an actual free skill now, and I also got the regenerated achievement. I went to Eva, used the memory lockets, upgraded the Hunter's crest, and bound her at her own request, which granted me the Entwined achievement. This gave me the silk regen on a bench, so basically just Salubra. Now, imagine finding out that you only have to find 2 masks out of 20. Actual needle in a haystack. Like, how am I supposed to... What the fuck happened here? Okay, so giving this guy the Plasmium was a bad idea. This is what happens to the area after a while. And something really interesting that Hornet notices here is that the infection is very, very familiar. Lifeblood DLC, anyone? What was I doing here? Oh yeah, okay. Got the masked achievement pretty soon after this. Same with the extended achievement. I quickly did Mr. Mushroom's wish. Understood none of the references. Please tell me if you do. But now, it was time. I took the plunge. Deeper and deeper inside the void. The tendrils were trying to grab me, but the Everbloom kept them at bay. And eventually, we got to the arena, and the last boss, Lost Place. Now, you would be mistaken to think that this boss would be the same as the previous Lace fights, but just faster. This time though, she adds a lot of void attacks, specifically from her second phase onwards, which give her a lot of attack variation. And of course, she has a second phase fake out death. Okay, Team Cherry, this is getting old. After that, the void attacks get ramped to 11, with her adding this wave attack that you need to react to very quickly. It's really hard to hit her after her second phase, and especially in her last one. She moves around more than a child with ADHD when you force them to sit down for 2 minutes. As a small tip, when she uses the void blob throw attack, the one where she spews void blobs from her body, go towards her, because when she does this, it is one of the only times she's stationary and one of the few times you'll be able to get multiple hits in. But now, it was time to save her and put an end to the haunting. There has to be one. Play the needle for her. Oh! Oh, we are saving Lace. Sadly, the Everbloom runs out. And just as we were about to be consumed by the void, the night saves us. They could have done it quicker, but they were like, wait until the tendrils almost get the two of them. We need to farm some aura. With this, they help us get to shore, and we see Lace wake up and laugh at us one last time, probably laughing at how much we did for her. The Sister of the Void and Passing of the Age achievements pop, and we finally see it. Completion. 100%. 69! Funny number! Achieve 100% game completion. This was amazing. I loved almost every second of it. It was worth the 7 years. And now, all that's left to do is wait for the DLC. Or is it? Okay. I know anyone who subbed or watched this video will know that I never did the God Home ending without the nail. But this time is different. I will be getting every other achievement on stream, and I will make a video out of that too. So make sure to join me on Twitch. But until the next time, happy hunting, and bye bye.